What's a like a vocal exercise you normally do?
There's this video on YouTube that I just like put on. It's this guy who's like, now say V. V V V V V V V V.
V V V V V V V V.
Now say ga. Ga 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 ga.
Ga 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 ga.
It's one of these, you know. But you gotta just keep going and going.
For how long?
Until he interrupts you and starts a new one.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's only like 5 minutes.
I guess it's about strength. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour.
Take what's our. Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night. Should they just leave that and just keep going?
Yeah.
And welcome to episode 249.1 of the JARCast. I'm your host Alex, joined by just Jim again. James is he's man flued to the max. In fact, he was here 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, he got angry when I wouldn't put on Old Dog Does New Tricks or something.
Old Dog New Tricks Fails compilation or whatever.
Yeah, he got angry and then he stormed out.
We just drove off anger. Before we get too deep into the show, let me shout out the Jar Media Patreon that make the audio version possible and have their names read out in the first week of every month if they're a Sandy tier or above. We normally have extra videos as well for the Patreon, but this virus has thrown everything to the curb for now. The 14-day virus.
Yeah, it's genuinely so goddamn typical.
Yeah.
It's like we had everything planned out a day to just get loads of stuff done.
Mm-hmm. Like a bulk recording, just moment.
Yeah, and then you get ill, and then that date approaches, and suddenly James just goes down. Down hard.
Yeah. I'm okay now. James still suffering. You got it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm fine for the most part. But yeah, we're in a bit of a sorry state.
We're feeling sorry for ourselves, listening to nice rock raps to keep our moods high, which we'll get into in a little minute, I guess. But first, we should probably clean up a bit, do some housekeeping. Just got two comments, just two things to address from this one that I felt necessary from last episode. Yami no Mizu is going to start us off and conclude our little discussion on the Zodiac Killer that we brought up because his name was revealed or supposedly revealed, and he was called Gary Post or something.
Yeah.
But it's apparently fairly contentious. Let's read this comment and see what we think. The theory on the Zodiac Killer falls apart when you look at it past the surface, honestly. When you read the theory, it doesn't really actually line up properly with the Zodiac. It's based on him being the potential killer of a potential victim of the Zodiac, who may not have even been killed by the Zodiac, depending on who you ask, and has never been officially recognized as a victim of the Zodiac specifically, but the media doesn't want you to know that. This isn't even just the first time this has happened. We've had people claiming to have solved the case for years, yet none of them have had solid evidence, and I feel like I've actually read articles like that before that just go nowhere. The case breakers seem to have done this before too. I can't remember what specifically was the last one, and they don't seem to actually be that dedicated to the case beyond the fame of solving it. Anyone who actually is dedicated to the case seems to think this is just bullshit, which is justified. There really isn't much going for it, just circumstantial posts, which seem to be inside jokes taken literally. And him just happening to have the same job as the person that killed one of the victims, which isn't proof. There's tons of people with that exact job and situation. Also, the original sketches of the Zodiac Killer didn't have the scar. That was added on later. Basically, the guy doesn't fit. The case breakers are just trying to make it so. We were kind of saying that part of us was hoping that it wasn't true. And
yeah, in a depressing sort of way. But it's always been the case. I think there's like a half-life when it comes to murderers and discovering the real one. And past a certain point, it becomes pointless.
Yeah, the statute of limitations and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just so much time has passed.
Yeah, and it sort of in a way, the real person, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
We failed to get him when he was a problem. He's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he died in 2018 or died in 2004.
Yeah, exactly.
What's done is done. Like this comment from Slushy Bear, who said, and this is on the whole topic of the ongoing ape/monkey just discussion.
Right, yeah.
It's just core. Are the boys familiar with the whole monkey hate subsection of YouTube, where there are hundreds of videos from India of people killing/harming monkeys? Being someone who loves the silly little fellas, it's pretty shocking finding these videos randomly during my daily funny monkey video pursuits. I have a vague memory of bringing this up during like CALNEcast or something. I have mentioned it before, I think. But this is dark. This is not what I want to be hearing.
Yeah, how is that allowed on YouTube?
Yeah, surely that's the kind of stuff that needs to be cracked down on.
Yeah, we can't have... It doesn't matter what animal it is. Like, I'm not going to stand for monkey hate.
Yeah, because from what I can remember, they were monetizing monkey videos and were just replicating more of the same videos of whatever got the most views. And like the crueler videos were getting more views, right, so it kind of perpetuates thanks to that algorithm or whatever. But it's sad. Don't be mean to the monkeys. We saw a little monkey video earlier when we were watching stuff with James on YouTube.
Yeah. As scary as monkeys can be, it's our duty as the apex monkey to not...
The apex ape.
Yeah, the apex.
Yeah.
As it were. It's our duty to not, crush and harm the lesser apes and monkeys.
I did actually see a comment someone left. I didn't screen cap it or anything, but it was in reference to orangutans and how they were saying like they grew up somewhere where they were like locally or whatever, and they were known as like wise creatures or whatever. But not to mess with them.
I think there's a chance that orangutans, like, they know more than us. I think orangutans and whales.
Yeah.
I think they have a deeper understanding of what it means to be alive.
Yeah, I've always got that vibe off whales, especially with, I don't know if you agree with the noises they make. And like whale sound, and like going on a YouTube video of like a whale call from underwater, to me it's viscerally terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a form of communication like we don't understand. Like that,
it feels like an eldritch, like
like a Lovecraftian.
Yeah, they're so far beyond us. Trying to comprehend what they're doing just sends you down like a dark path.
And yeah, just the vastness of it, like such a huge creature making like an equally like vast noise. Yeah,
and it's so like serene at the same time.
Yeah,
it's these conflicting.
Like, I think that's what it is. Yeah, because there is some, because some people listen to it like in a calming way. Like there's that whole gag in The Big Lebowski where he's like listening to the whale noises to like zone out.
No, I could not relax listening to whale noises.
I just find especially knowing like they go like real deep, some of them, and they're like calling for miles. It's just creepy stuff. I don't like it. Let us know in the comments if you like whale calls.
Yeah, that is interesting.
The horror / enjoyment rating of certain...
Yeah. I wonder where it tips. Does it tip into do more people find it scary than calming, or do more people find it calming?
What does your gut tell you on a large scale?
On a large scale, I reckon people think it's more calming.
Really?
We've sort of been told that.
Yeah.
You listen to whale calling.
Well, is the average person as afraid of the ocean as I am? Because I don't think so. That's kind of that's been a deep-rooted thing in my mind. Like I remember in the swimming pools when going to swimming lessons, like I would motivate myself to swim by imagining like scary eldritch like fish and whales, mostly like shark type things. But even though it was
you were a very good swimmer as well.
Why do you think I was so good? That is a motivating
clearly
worked. Yeah, I've got really clear memories of that, and also having foot cramps while swimming, because like I didn't know like what was happening. Like sometimes, like it's like just I guess there's just like a chance. Sometimes your like foot will lock up, like, and it's just from like not stretching properly or like not being properly hydrated, probably. Yeah, but I remember like just having a cramp in the swimming pool is horrible, because you're like still got to swim. You can't just stop swimming.
Well, do you know the on land foot cramp hack?
The like stretch.
No, stand on it. If you're having a foot cramp,
do like
and you
lean into it and like stretch.
But like if you're stood on your foot, it won't cramp.
Really?
Yeah.
What about if you get like the most painful ones are the ones that strike you in the night? I don't know if you ever get those.
In your foot?
Not always my foot, but like my lower leg muscle occasionally.
Yeah, the calf cramps. That's a whole new
calf
thing.
cramp. Yeah, those are the ones that like leave you writhing in like pain, and you can't walk when you wake up if they like strike you in the night type.
No, because when it catches you in that docile state, you just sort of you're in pure agony, but you let it happen, the whole thing.
And especially when it's things that strike you in the night as well, and you're like half conscious, half asleep still, and you're like,
you know you're in severe pain.
Yeah,
but you're not able to do anything.
Like not even with it to measure what's happening to you.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Bet I'm gonna have a cramp tonight now.
Yeah. Speaking of cramping, we should mention our beverages. That's a new jar thing.
Yeah. I'll start. I've got a nice Birra Moretti here.
That is an A-class lager.
Yeah, they had the 3 bottles for a $5 thing, so I got a Moretti, I got a Cobra, and I got a Corona. Feeling very Fast and Furious family-like. But yeah, this is probably the nicest one out of those 3.
Honestly, I think it might be the best lager.
You think?
Out of them all.
See, I always forget it's a lager, but yeah, it is, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I feel sorry for anyone that doesn't have easy access to Birra Moretti. We're not sponsored.
No, but if Birra wants to hit us up, I don't know. I don't think alcohols really sponsor YouTube content, do they? That's not one I've seen. It's no like, it's not a VPN or like underwear.
Yeah, true. There is like a weird amount of, there's shreddies. There's the one about shaving your cock and balls.
Yeah, the balls one. I think Ryan Reynolds has like a alcohol company or something.
He's got gin.
Yeah, and he just recently sold it for like hundreds of millions.
Really?
Yeah. Right at the similar time he announced that he's taking a break from acting.
I mean, that's a great thing. Do you think he stumbled across Jar and saw
he saw the free guy.
He saw me and my disdain for everything he's ever done.
And he's just like, you know what?
And
this guy's right. Oh, fuck nuggets, he's got me.
Yeah, going back to beverages, with this flu-like thing that we've all had, I knew that whiskey was meant to be a remedy for congestion. So
it does weirdly help.
Yeah, I started drinking
I had a little glass on one of those nights that I had it bad, and
yeah, it does make a genuine difference if you have a cold or flu or whatever. But something about this illness I had made me totally 180.
On whiskey?
On whiskey.
You've reset the whiskey.
Yeah, I absolutely despised it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, it's delicious.
Did you say which one that was, sorry?
Lefroy.
But right before we started recording, you said Lefroy is disgusting.
Well, yeah. This is where it could easily 180 again, go full 360. Lefroy is foul.
I thought Lefroy's whole gimmick was that it's supposed to be a Marmite type whiskey where you either love it or hate it.
Yeah, it definitely is. Their like motto is something about like a whiskey that tastes like you're making out with a mermaid. It's got like a fishy taste.
Oh right, okay.
And it's smoky. Yeah, it's really weird.
Why would a mermaid be like smoky? Unless it was like that seal we saw on the beach.
Maybe you're having a barbecue with her.
Yeah.
Down under.
Do you remember that charred seal?
Child seal?
No, charred. Like charred.
Oh yeah, that Flossie ate.
Yeah. Poor charred seal. Fuck.
Yeah, we stumbled across a seal that had just been beached, I guess. It died in the ocean and got
This was on a beach in Wales, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And someone had set it on fire.
Yeah, poor thing. Like, I don't know how it got there. Like,
maybe they were
it was
trying to
long
get rid
gone.
of the corpse, but yeah.
Yeah, they tried to set a seal on fire. And there was just like a dog chewing on it.
Yeah, it wasn't our dog. That's right, yeah. It was a Labrador, though.
Really?
Yeah, it was a black Labrador. A dog went up to the seal and just started chewing.
Yeah, because we were only kids as well, and it's just like seeing that. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is
Yeah,
hard.
because especially as well, seals are like dogs of the ocean.
Yeah.
So it was like a dog eating its not so distant relative.
Yeah, it's so dark.
Yeah.
Man, the animal kingdom's rough, man. That's what you learn from these
From
epic
dogs.
fail YouTube videos.
Yeah, that as well. No, but dogs in particular. Like just today, you had a dead bird in your garden.
Yeah. Yeah, really really nice bird, actually, I found.
Yeah, beautiful
It's just
bird.
in like the driveway of my house, just like pretty much perfect condition, just dead there. And it's like really noticeable because it was, I don't know what type of bird it is, super colourful. So I was like, I can't just leave this here.
So you threw it in your garden.
No, so I put it in a bit of Tupperware and I put it on top of the compost bin, thinking, do I put this in the compost bin?
Mm.
But then it's kind of windy here, so like it was blown off the top of the compost bin. I let the dogs out, and then I caught Paisley like running around with it in her mouth. Tried to do with.
But like we sort of humanize our pets,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's always a moment where you're like, oh yeah, these things are just pure animals.
Yeah,
They don't give a shit that this.
they have a different rule set to us.
Yeah.
Maybe more consistent than ours. Predictable.
Mm.
We actually have a fair few topics. There's one you made me note down, which I don't really understand. I got a few. Where do we want to begin? We could start with this rock rap thing. I don't know how long. That'll keep us going. You want to start there?
Yeah.
One of the kind of descriptions of the Jar Media podcast is that it's kind of a rock fan cast as well. The Rock is in Dwayne Johnson. I don't know which he prefers nowadays. Except there was a time I remember he didn't want to be known as The Rock. He'd prefer.
I thought he was legally stopped from being The Rock.
Legally? Oh, because it was like tied into the whole wrestling.
Yeah, like for a long
Okay.
time he was Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
was him.
Yeah. That
And
was
then
his
suddenly
whole-
it stopped and it just started being Dwayne Johnson.
Hmm.
And someone said at some point, or I heard it somewhere, that it was a legal thing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Dwayne is he's hopping into the music scene.
Mm.
With this, what's it called? The
Face Off?
Yeah, Face Off, not the Nicolas Cage movie. Yeah, but I figured, because I saw like when this started trending and when people were talking about it, like I figured he'd actually made like a whole song himself instead of being like
Yeah.
like a cameo basically, which is like the equivalent. Like I'm looking at the lyrics here, and his chunk is just a tiny section at the end, which is all I've seen from it. But there's this whole like build up in the song, like minutes and minutes of like other people that aren't The Rock before he jumps into his bit. Shall I read off a couple of these bars?
Yeah, hit me with the bars.
Just like really unique lyrics, the type of stuff I've never heard Dwayne say before. It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work. Put in the hours, and take what's ours. That's the main bit. That's the best bit.
Yeah, that's
and
the
that's
bit
the bit I've
everyone's
seen
going to
memed
remember.
the most as well. The other notable bit is the last line actually that he has, coming at you with extreme manner. MANA.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by that? Is it like a gamer thing? My manner's low.
I think it's more of a like tabletop thing.
A tabletop? Is The Rock into like tabletop fun?
Well, he there's no way he's into video games.
Yeah. The lyrics of the song confirm that. His whole thing is about the grind set thing. When would he have time to play video games?
The dude literally works out like 6 hours a day, and then films just awful cinema in the rest of the time he has, and then he goes to bed at like 7 p.m.
Yes, like how many? We've actually got to talk. How many movies can he be in that are just the same movie? Like, we watched that trailer for that Ryan Reynolds Rock Wonder Woman thing. It's like a Netflix. Like, what was it? I've seen the trailer twice now, just because I watched it with James, and then when you came later, I still like don't know even what the setup is really. It's like, what?
He just does this now. Like, he was in Jungle Run or whatever the fuck it's called. Jungle Cruise. Was the movie really called Jungle Cruise?
It was called Jungle Cruise, but he's also in a separate franchise about jungles.
Yeah, Rumble in the Jungle.
What the fuck is it called?
With Jack Black.
Jumanji. Yeah, that one doesn't have the jungle in the title, but it's set in a jungle.
Jumanji Jungle. Like, yeah, he always is the guy wearing like brown canvas with World War II weaponry. In a jungle.
Yeah.
That's his thing. That's his movie thing.
He's got that market like crazy cornered.
Yeah. Yeah, the brown clothing World War II weaponry guy.
In the jungle.
Yeah. He's the guy you go for when you write a script involving those things.
Honestly, out of every like Hollywood trend, the like onslaught of rock jungle movies, I was not.
How could anyone have predicted this?
And this new one is like, could you remember what it's called? It's like so fucking generic. I can't remember any. But honestly, when I watch the trailer, I stop absorbing it as if it's new information, and I just see it as if it's like my mind conjuring like just a bunch of tropes from like Hollywood shit. It like looks like a fake movie. It looks like you were like, is this in like the Fast and Furious universe?
Yeah.
It very well could be. And they're all
because all three of the actors are in that universe. The universe in which Dwayne Johnson wears brown canvas in a jungle.
But those three actors in particular too, The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Wonder Woman.
Gal
Gadot. Like, they are three of the most... They're not actors to me. Like, all I see when they're in a movie is them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to use Tom Cruise as that example, but he's too good of an actor, and he has too much of a varied like history of different roles. Where I can't say that about these three, this trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I was. This is a Ryan Reynolds tangent, but I watched Life.
You're really going into the classics.
Awful film. Dreadful.
What's so bad about it?
I don't even want to start. Like, the amount of thoughts. I was thinking, like, I could make a fucking 12-hour video breaking down how terrible this
You were
film
that
is.
passionate about Life?
Yeah, it genuinely really angered me.
Really? Because that was one I remember just being like, within 20 minutes knowing exactly what was going on and then just glazing over type thing.
No, but I wanted to have this razor focus on it because anything Ryan Reynolds does, I just want to break to pieces. But again, I have nothing against Ryan Reynolds, obviously. But no, I genuinely think Ryan Reynolds could be a great actor.
Mm-mm. So what is your deep-rooted issue with like?
He doesn't try.
You think he's just settled for shit like life?
It's not that he's discovered that people like Ryan Reynolds. So when Ryan Reynolds is cast in a film, he plays Ryan Reynolds.
He's not acting, yeah.
And that is the most frustrating thing. It's the reason I hate The Rock. Again, nothing personal, but it's these...
I find The Rock even more frustrating, though, if all this stuff about his contracts are true as well. Where it's like, isn't the job of an actor to... You're playing someone you're not.
Yeah.
That's like, that is what the job is. You're able to perform...
Yeah, you change who you are. That's what's so good about
story.
Like Christian Bale and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he's in a movie, he's just like a different person.
Yeah, like a chameleon. Just
Whereas that's what makes Ryan Reynolds more frustrating than The Rock, because I don't think The Rock could ever be a good actor.
Yeah. You haven't seen Southland Tales yet.
True, and Black Adam isn't out yet. Which could change everything, I'm telling you. It really could.
Yeah, because no, stay on topic.
But Ryan Reynolds, there's like glimmers of him when he tries, and it's like, wait, this guy's convincing in portraying this emotion. You know?
Yeah.
And
he knows how to work on camera and perform.
Yeah. But that means he chooses not to.
Well, do you think do you think he has that much power, or it's that by the time he's on board with a project and the way he's just directed and the way the material's written, he's wedged into the Ryan Reynolds corner.
Yeah, he's typecast as himself.
Yeah.
I'm sure that is an aspect, but it also means he's terrible at choosing what films he's in.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have a particularly bad like IMDb like list of stuff.
Yeah, the worst.
Yeah. It doesn't scream like, oh, I'm really trying to change my image to be more of a character actor now. I'm just going to maintain my Ryan Reynolds status. But what about life just angered you so deeply? Do you even remember?
Well, first of all, it takes itself way too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And if the film is taking itself seriously, I have to treat it seriously.
Yeah, that's only fair.
Yeah, but then when you write in it's like they wrote like this is going to happen, so we have to have some contrived bullshit to make it happen. I think there's one good like moment in the film. That's when the alien is like outside the ship, and it's got to get back in. So the only way it can get in is by using like the jet boosters or whatever. So that is the one moment where it works. The other time it's like when Ryan Reynolds is trapped in the room with the alien, he uses a flamethrower to like keep it away.
See, the only part I remember is the whole like. It starts off as like a small bacteria thing, right? And it keeps like growing.
Yeah. It breaks the guy's hand.
Yeah.
But no, this flamethrower thing, it really bugged me because like, so they had this science room where no bacteria could get in or out, and they also have a flamethrower in there to kill whatever's in there. And so when Ryan Reynolds dies, the flamethrower floats in the air because there's zero gravity, and then sets off the fire alarm, which opens shit so the alien can get out.
Oh, well, so the flamethrower is like floating there with the little like gas.
Yeah, the little flame, and the flame brushes up against the.
Oh, that's it's all coming back.
That shit, like from that moment onwards, I was like, okay, fuck this film.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's really dumb. It was trying to be like an alien thing, right?
Yeah, and like when you think of Alien, like close your eyes, think of Alien. That xenomorph is clear in your mind.
Yeah.
Life. What does the alien look like?
What has been like? Did the xenomorph just ruin like aliens in terms of like since that movie, like, what is the classic like movie Alien that's even come close?
Paul.
Paul's up there. Yeah, Paul's actually. Yeah, you kind of slammed me down with that response.
No, when you think of Alien, it's either the naked thing, the lanky guy with a big head.
Yeah, the Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah.
It's either Paul or the xenomorph. That's it. Don't try and make this weird like flower squid thing in life.
Yeah, I suppose it hasn't infiltrated pop culture like even remotely similarly to like the xenomorph, but like I like the alien approach in that Netflix movie with Annihilation. I think that approach is cool. It's fairly unique.
The bear?
No, but like the whole thing at the end, that's like an alien.
Oh yeah.
Without spoiling anything, but we got to throw this one out. Just out of curiosity, to be honest. I just want to know why you wanted me to note this down. You told me to just note down John Lewis Advert.
Yeah, I did.
Why?
This is a British thing.
Yeah, everyone in the UK gets hyped when John Lewis releases a fucking Christmas
Whenever
advert.
we approach Christmas, John Lewis releases an advert. And every time it's the same fucking bullshit. It's like some...
I gotta admit, I've never watched a full one.
You've never seen a full... The thing is...
because I just didn't care.
I've heard people talking about the John Lewis advert like, oh my god, this one's just like magnificent. It really changes the game.
Right. There's one with like a bunny rabbit, I vaguely remember.
Yeah, they've had like animated ones.
With the slant always being like, it's designed to try and make you cry. That's always like...
Yeah, so the way I see it is that every single one is trying to be the intro to Up.
Yeah? But what?
It's
Why
like
is that what it's become?
Well, yeah, but this latest one changed the game.
How?
Because I'm assuming you haven't seen any of it.
No, I've seen
So this
none
time they're doing house insurance.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to sell like John Lewis house insurance.
John Lewis house insurance, and they're
through
using
this
the
advert.
angle of like this kid running through the house that's clearly like quirky.
Mm.
You know, and he's like drawing on the walls and shit and spraying shit everywhere.
Yeah.
I hate John Lewis. I hate John Lewis. They try and everything they do is manipulative. You can obviously those old ones with the snowman fucking melting and then some kid has a breakdown, whatever.
Yeah, that one really got me.
So that's just pure emotional manipulation. Now they're trying to manipulate people with like, you know, current affairs. This kid is quirky. He's just trying to be himself. It's like you can't make a statement after the statement's been made.
Do you think it's just inherently disingenuous because of where it comes from?
Well, yeah. The fact that it's an advert. It is not the place of a company to portray their like political views when they're also trying to sell what they are.
Yeah, like it really works on people though, like clearly.
No, but this
people
is the
love
thing.
This shit.
I part of me that made me respect this latest one is that the first thing I saw on Twitter was someone saying, "That's it. I'm never going to John Lewis again." They're trying to portray all this.
What? Because someone got upset by it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just tune out of this kind of thing, to be honest. Because I remember making like the video on like the 100 most disliked videos on YouTube or something, and a lot of them were like ads doing sort of things like that. But yeah, it's the thing with this like politicized nature of, you know, everything and like ads and the way it manifests through online discourse, and it's like, is it actually starting productive conversations, or is it just trying to use the like brownie points of what's socially sort of...
But that's also part of it, because it is an advert. Even the bad response to anything, I mean bad quote unquote, If it pisses people off, it means it's being talked about.
Mm-hmm.
No publicity is bad publicity, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Like, was it like the Christmas one too?
Well, I don't know, because it was trending on Twitter. John Lewis advert. I assume it is the one.
Cause, yeah, it seems a bit early. I don't know. I'm not on the John Lewis like advert hype train, like waiting for it to drop.
Yeah, so. Neither am I. But I've always hated their adverts.
Just adverts in general. Like we went to see Dune yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 25 minutes of ads before the movie starts or whatever, and you're just like, I already paid 12 quid for this fucking ticket.
Yeah.
Like, why am I actually sitting through these like car adverts that are like linked to the movies? And
so many car adverts as well.
Oh, and all the trailers and everything. It's just all. I just tune out at a certain point because it's just like such an onslaught of like messaging, and especially with like every ad now is like full of so many like visual effects.
Yeah, there was a Barclays advert where this girl is on like a laptop, and then this gerbil on her laptop turns to her and just like, you could fucking save so much money, and then she fucking shoots into the sky and money's flying around, and she.
Yeah, because I thought it was like pushing it with the CG guinea pig thing, like looking at the camera screening or whatever. Let alone it just like becomes a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, hey, there are adverts now with better VFX than like the prequels.
Yeah.
And those movies had like hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on VFX.
Yeah. I have such a strong memory of the first time I remember being like, this is weird for like an advert to be flexing like visual effects of this level.
Yeah.
It was like a car advert for some like, I don't remember what the fucking car was, but it was just like a car driving through some like alpine beautiful environment or whatever. And this like fucking CG like black goo shit just went like,
yeah.
It was like this crazy imagery.
Yeah, and the car's like driving away from
Yeah. And that always stuck in my mind, like what is fucking happening? Like, it's like such an excessive like waste, because it's like, what are you actually enhancing with that? Like, are you using storytelling to try and say like, this like massive fucking energy is what our car represents? And even then, it's like, just show me the fucking car. It's like a vehicle. I'm driving it. Yeah. You don't have to get so fucking cocky about it, you know? Fucking car adverts in particular, man.
Yeah. They've got this like really sterile, like David Fincher-esque feel.
Yeah, it's like detached, like
yeah, they're driving through these like empty cities.
Yeah, they like never have people in them.
Yeah, and the city.
The cars always look like they're driving themselves.
Like,
yeah, it's like they're all driving through like Death Stranding map. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, with this John Lewis thing, I just hate adverts. And when you try to politicize something that you are selling, it comes off as disingenuous, because your end goal is to make more money through this thing.
Yeah, there is just something weird. It's like, oh, have you seen that trending advert? It's like, what do you mean? Like,
no, but this shit was. Compare the meerkat is a big thing in the UK. Who the fuck doesn't know this meerkat shit? They've made a brand out of...
Yeah. Well, I think about that with, like... I associate it mostly with, like, primary school. Like, the time where you're watching SpongeBob as soon as you get home. You're seeing, like, the repeated ads, like, fucking constantly.
Yeah.
And, like, kids, they just... Because there's all these, like, little ditties, these little songs. Compare them, like... What was that one?
Go Compare.
Yeah, it's like a song and shit.
But I don't think that one has the stopping power. Go Compare doesn't have the stopping power of Compare the Meerkat. I'm gonna say it.
But it like gets ingrained in all these like kids in the playground or whatever, and they're just saying it, like all getting like addicted to these little songs that they're like they don't even realize, like,
and all these kids think like Compare the Meerkat is funny, like the Meerkat advert. This is the genius of advertising. I feel like we're on Mad Men right now.
Like, I was going to mention Mad Men because that show is like ruin the whole perspective for me, because whenever I see like the John Lewis thing, I don't pick like even see the advert. I just picture like the room of the Mad Men assholes. Like, how can we fucking get a new angle on this sort of thing?
Yeah. No, but they've made a brand out of Compare the Meerkat.
Yeah, what a meerkat has to do with comparing like insurance prices.
Yeah, it's like the most genius.
It's like so dumb that it works.
Yeah, because the original thing was like the people in the plot of this thing, there was Compare the Market and a separate website, Compare the Meerkat. And these meerkats were getting pissed off that people were accidentally searching Compare the Meerkat instead of Compare the Market.
That's right, yeah, there was a whole like story.
Yeah, that was the original
narrative
plot
going on.
But then people just started recognizing, meerkat. Mm-hmm. That was the thing. And now they have like these crazy plots where like his butler, whatever the fuck his butler's called, his meerkat butler, is like in space and shit doing like.
And isn't it like some British icon who like voices him or some weird shit?
Oh, I'm sure it is. It's wild. It's wild. The advertising world is sickeningly wild.
Yeah, and terrifying too. The power it has.
Yeah, they brainwashed us to be like, go compare.
Yeah,
go compare in the fucking school playgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I've always appreciated about like Blade Runner, because it seems like such a realistic trajectory.
Just advertisement is just blending with culture.
Tell you what's not blending with culture very well though, bro. That's Wizards.
Wizards?
Yeah, I'm hoping you haven't heard about this. Oh shit. So, I'm just going to bring up this article that's relevant because it comes from our home country of New Zealand, right? I just want you to hear about this. New Zealand Council ends contract with Wizard after 2 decades of service. The official wizard of New Zealand, perhaps the only state-appointed wizard in the world, has been cast from the public payroll, spelling the end to a 23-year legacy. The wizard, whose real name is Ian Backenbury Chanel, 88, had been contracted to Christchurch City Council for the past 2 decades to promote the city through acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services at a cost of $16,000 a year. He's been paid a total of $368,000. The wizard, who was born in England, began performing acts of wizardry and entertainment in public spaces shortly after arriving in New Zealand in 1976. When the council originally tried to stop him, the public protested. In 1982, the New Zealand Art Gallery Directors Association said he'd become a living work of art. And then in 1990, the Prime Minister at the time, Mike Moore, asked that he consider becoming the Wizard of New Zealand. And I'm pretty sure that the reason he stopped being the Wizard is because he was like cancelled. he like said some dodgy shit. Oh yeah, this is the quote. It's bad. I love women. I forgive them all the time. I've never struck one yet. Never strike a woman because they bruise too easily is the first thing, and they'll tell the neighbours and their friends, and then you're in big trouble. So the wizard is no more.
Jesus fucking Christ. That was a roller coaster.
I'll show you a little picture of him.
He does look like a wizard. That much I'll give him. What kind of comment is that, though? Why would a wizard say that?
Yeah, I prefer almost not knowing the context of like why he felt the need to bring this up and make this point whenever he did. But the wizard is no more.
Is it something about people of that like age range? Like Sean Connery. It's like,
when you told me about that and I watched that, that interview.
It's like men, they hit an age and they're like, Right, it's time to just talk about like how fucking awful I am.
Yeah, I guess I just stopped caring. They're just like, oh, fuck it, I guess I've been James Bond for long enough.
Yeah. No, but this guy wasn't even James Bond. He was just a wizard.
No, he was something much cooler. A wizard. The only...
That's lame. New Zealand's wizard turned out to be a cunt.
Yeah. It's like so many reveals within like reveals. It's like just learning.
Yeah, like, I mean, first of all, New Zealand had a wizard.
Like who signed that paper to be like, all right, let's give this guy 16 grand of taxpayer money every year to like just be a wizard. A wizard, like, is something that like, it's not a recognized like role in society.
No, the first thing was that they tried to like stop him from being the wizard, and then he like gained the power of the people, and they were like, no, we want the wizard. So then they gave all their taxpayer money to the wizard.
It was like the most like politically passionate subject.
Yeah.
In like years. That's what's going on in New Zealand. Like this is what they're this is like from a few days ago, this article.
What the fuck?
So, like, this is what they're worrying about.
Maybe every country needs a wizard. It'll be like the Witcher universe, where like every leader has a wizard.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, how hard could it really be?
I could be the fucking wizard.
I think the only thing you need is confidence.
Oh,
it's the only thing.
Yeah. You just
And
need
I
to act
guess-
like you're the wizard, and you're the wizard.
Yeah, and you need enough money to get the hat and everything.
Yeah, which I feel like in one of your boxes somewhere. there's a
Oh
wizard
yeah,
hat.
I've got a witch's hat
I
somewhere.
think James should be the wizard. He should just leave his
Yeah.
beard.
You can be the Wizard of Wiltshire.
Yeah, the Wiltshire wizard, branch out into the West Coast, the West wizard, the Western wizard.
Shit, maybe we should try and convince the council to get him in on this. 16
Yeah.
grand, like,
Yeah, 16k.
yeah, this is a good idea, like, genuinely.
We're gonna have a wizard on our side in no time.
We'll finally have a wizard just in time for Halloween. You know, apparently, witches only have the green associated with them because of the Wizard of Oz.
Because of the movie.
Yeah. Just because of the design of that movie. And
Yeah. I can believe that, because witches were always just innocent women in history.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. You seen the Wizard of Oz?
no.
Surprisingly sick.
Really?
Yeah.
Like an actual sick film.
Yeah. Like I watched it like a year or two ago. Like, it's actually just really good.
My only experience with The Wizard of Oz was the conspiracy theorist I met.
It is one of those movies. It's like it's got all these theories and like. Oh.
And there's like a shadow in the background of one of the scenes where there's like the gelfling that's been hung or something.
Yeah, that's the one everyone.
Yeah, everyone knows
starts
about
off
that
with,
one.
but I think it's bullshit.
That's like the start of the rabbit hole, though.
Yeah,
Then you start
If
going on
that
about
convinces you, then it's just done. Like,
yeah.
you're just going into realms you'll never be able to escape. And speaking of realms you'll never escape, like these messages.
Life can be a dick sometimes, so get your dick from out your hand. And don't be a dick, wear a dick. Dick the Head t-shirts available now. Check the description below.
Welcome to the second half of the JARCast 249.1. This is the part where we answer questions from the suggestion thread over on the JAR Media subreddit. Head over there and ask us whatever you feel like, just like _username 1917 did, who asks simply, what's each of your guys' favourite James nickname? Just as a refresher, here are a couple. I feel like we've answered this before, but I just enjoy going through this list too much.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, we got Ambushed Orange, Bloodcock, Craig, Dazukos, Gamer James, I'm not any of these, I'm James, Jay Dilla, James's dad, Jordan, Land Grandpa, Martian MILF Hunter, Pierce, Piss a Dick, Pouch, Puff Puff, Row Reapier, Smartmore, the Biggest Malteser Lover, the Dad from Inside Out, the Golden Freddy, the Goon, the Milkmaid, the Passionate Napper, the Rick and Morty Follower, Tyler Durden, and finally Vinny.
Holy shit, James has some good names.
Yeah, and each one is as good as the last.
Yeah. I my softest spot is for Jordan.
Was Jordan on there?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, Jordan has been a long stay. So certain ones are kind of just, they're sort of the creature of the week names,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Like I'd say, like, the Biggest Malteser Lover. That's not a mainstay.
Yeah, yeah. But it is true.
But it is true.
Yeah, every single one is so applicable to James.
One I'm unexpectedly fond of is Raoul Reapier. Because every time someone like tries to spell it, it's just
How
like,
is it spelled here?
got here it's spelled RAL space RIPIA.
The James spelling can't be matched. The Raoul Reapier works best in text form.
Yeah. Raoul Reapier is such a like Modern Warfare 2 name.
But do you remember how he spelt it?
Yeah, wasn't it Raoul RPIA?
Yeah, but all one word.
But all one word.
Yeah, so RALRPIA. Raoul Reapier. I also really love Bloodcock. that one is good.
Do you remember the history of that one? I really don't.
Yeah, I don't remember, because Bloodcock is a thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
Well, yeah. Either way, Bloodcock is good.
Tyler Durden.
Tyler Durden has a soft spot for me as well.
Like, honestly, PD is like,
Yeah.
it's really fucking good.
that one is special. But I have to go with my number one, Jordan.
Yeah, if you didn't pick Jordan, I might. I feel like I've got to pick a different one. Oh man, I'm really torn because
He's got so many good ones.
they're so effective. Like so many of them.
Even Pouch. Pouch is great.
Pouch was actually what was catching my eye. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pouch.
Okay. I do have a guilty omission to make.
What do you mean?
Back in secondary school, because obviously I've been known as Jim amongst my close friends for a long time.
Yeah.
But Jim is a shortened version of James.
Uh-huh.
Jim isn't a Jamie thing. Jim is a James thing. But I didn't know this when I was stupid and young at the time. And James was trying to convince me, like, he was saying to me, like, no, I'm Jim. James could have been Jim. James was like, I'm Jim. That's me.
So in James's family, would they call him Jim?
I believe so. I believe his dad called him Jim, and I was like, no, I'm Jim. I'm only saying this because James isn't here.
Right.
Because I can't
It's all
admit
coming
this
out.
to James, but
Yeah.
he
But
by
James-
rights, he is Jim.
No, but by right, he's not Jim.
He's Jordan.
He's the most James of them all. And I'm sorry if you're a James listening, but
Yeah. But he's also the most Bloodcock, the most Jordan, the most Raoul Reapier, the most Pouch.
yeah, that whole list, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, he is James, though. At the end of the day.
What do you think his favourite one is? Or does he just despise
He
them
would
all?
just say, I'm James, if
yeah.
he was here.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. And Esther Jack Daw has an interesting one for us. Just a bit of a suggestion. Hello, Jar Media boys. I wanted to tip you off on a great short film called Scenes with Beans, a title that could just as easily be a JARCast episode. It's a Hungarian stop-motion short film from the 70s about a spaceship that is observing a world dominated by beans. who go about their business in bean cities, driving tins, pushing their bean babies in teaspoons. There are even multiple bean death scenes and a bean chase scene. It is visually creative and I think you boys would like it. You can watch it on UK Mubi, something I assume Alex may already be a member of since he's in cinema. They also have a 7-day free trial. Sorry for the long post. Love you guys. Can't remember if I have Mubi or not.
Mubi?
Yeah, because like on Amazon there are like 58 other like subscriptions you can get, like for certain, like there's the horror one, there's the indie film one, there's the
bean
classic
film one.
Yeah, the bean short film one.
Yeah.
Scenes with beans.
I'm intrigued though. I'd be down to watch beans with scenes or whatever.
Yeah, Hungarian short film from the 70s about beans. What more could you actually ask for?
Nothing.
Straight up.
There isn't anything more you could ask for.
Stapler left this one for us. You guys can just turn your whole podcast into a primate-based discussion podcast for fun videos you see of them. I'd be down, as anyone would be, with taste. An interesting thing about great ape social behaviors is that, for gorillas in particular, they're actually very Oh my god, sorry. Still got a bit of a tickle going on. They're actually very understandable to humans. Gorillas don't enjoy fighting, except as kids when they play wrestle, but otherwise they would much rather simply live and let live. This is why there are photo opportunities where you can go in and see them up close. Psychologically, you just don't challenge them, which with primates involves not looking them in the eye and not making yourself look big. In this video, the silverback has no fear of the humans and no expectation for conflict, so he's happy to let his kids approach, and then eventually tells the kids to stop bothering the humans. It's very interesting stuff. The gist of it is to allow them on that Sigma Gorillionaire grind set while you look like a beta Homo sapien. I watched this video that he was mentioning here and linked in this Reddit comment. And of course it's one I've already seen before. I think I'm actually getting to a point where if it's a bear video, if it's a gorilla video, if it's an octopus video, chances are I've seen it. Those are the ones.
Right.
And it is a fascinating video. It's this guy who's just in the jungle chilling, and like a silverback just like plants its butt like right behind him, and the little kids are like there just like analysing the human, like just curious little creatures. And he's there he's got his head down, he's like making a point to not look at that silverback, but otherwise like they're chill until the silverback is just like, yeah, you've annoyed this guy long enough, and just like walks off and then makes a grunt, and then the kids just follow. It's like, damn,
it's so cool. I've been thinking more about what you said last time about like how meeting a gorilla, it is like a bucket list thing.
Yeah,
interacting with a great ape.
There's certain animals I feel like would do that to you. Like our parents have described what it was like. I think it was in America where they saw whales, was it? Or was that a New Zealand one? Just seeing whales, basically.
Yeah.
And we mentioned whales earlier and the whale sound and everything, and like going to the Natural History Museum and seeing that model of a blue whale.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as seeing an alive creature with your own eyes. But there's a disconnect.
Yeah, it's still sort of fictional.
Yeah, it's all like, it's like in a science book. So not.
Like seeing the T-Rex skeleton.
Yeah.
Like that is just not the same feeling you'd get seeing a T-Rex.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, that's one of them is whales.
I think it would be ridiculously grounding to just see this thing that is so colossal in nature.
Would you be willing to actually get in the water? And like, I'm talking about you're like plopped into the ocean and your view is just like
whale.
It's just nothing but like empty ocean and then the whale. You know what I mean? Like it's just an abyss just nothing but that big whale there, and it's just you and the whale.
I feel like if there's a whale around, there's not going to be anything
Like
scary.
chaos isn't going to ensue necessarily.
Yeah, like a shark isn't going to go and fuck around with a whale, you know? It's just as like, they know they can't take down a whale. I feel like in terms of the ocean, if you're next to a whale, you're probably good.
Yeah, but then there's the whole other Eldritchian horror that comes with like, and this is another like childhood memory I have, is reading about like, yeah, humpback whales. They go so deep, like it's like insane. But when they go deep, they like when they come up, like they've got like marks all over them, like they've been in fights with like giant squids, and it's like,
no, that's a blue whale thing, isn't it?
Oh, is that a blue whale thing too?
We've recorded blue whales with like sucker marks from giant squid from way down in the depths.
But that is like...
It might be humpback, I'm not sure.
Just imagine seeing that though. Like I picture like the start of like the second Lord of the Rings with like fucking Gandalf fighting that. It's like
yeah.
that scale of like...
Yeah. No, the
giant creatures just going after each other's throats.
No, the fact that we as a species didn't know if giant squid were a thing. And then it's just like, oh wait, yeah, they just are a thing. What the fuck else is down there? The Meg?
The Meg. Yeah, no doubt. There is something scarier.
There has to be.
There's something much scarier. And it don't get much scarier than giant squids.
Yeah. That's straight up aliens living on our planet. And we barely even know about them.
Yeah, I watched like the Wild Boys episode, it was set in New Zealand, and there was like a guy who's like a giant squid expert on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this like corpse of a giant squid like in his fucking garage, like on a table. And he like picks it up and like falls over, and it fucking slops everywhere. And it's like just pure gunge, but you forget they've got like bird beaks.
Yeah. No, that's the creepiest thing about them.
Yeah, it's
like that Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, just like a kraken.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah, do you reckon these old sailors ever actually did just see something mental, but they didn't have an iPhone to like snap a quick video of it?
The thing is, there are more ships traveling across the ocean than ever.
True.
And now they do have iPhones. Why the fuck wouldn't we have seen a kraken taken down some shit?
Yeah, I stumbled across like I think it was like a weird Twitter account or something that was like mythological creatures, like apparently like proof of like pictures of them. So we're talking like Loch Ness monster type images and Bigfoot images and like this kind of stuff. And I was having a good laugh looking through the evidence.
The Loch Ness monster is just factually not real.
All the pictures are really funny. It's just like a like squiggle in the like distance.
Yeah.
Little thing protruding out the water.
Bigfoot, I think it's not out of the realm of possibility.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'd love for Bigfoot. I would love the day Twitter's just like, wait, Bigfoot's real.
I think we're ready for that now.
Yeah,
I think we're easily just like, crazier things have happened now. It'd just be like,
yeah,
okay, what's next then? Aliens?
Well, no, aliens already happened.
See, this is what I mean.
We've already had aliens.
We've already had the...
Having the Sasquatch reveal would be a step down. So I feel like it's gonna happen.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, the Yetis, Bigfoot, they're just a thing.
Yeah, because I used to love reading about all those weird like stories as a kid, like the Chupacabra and all these. Yeah. I was never that hype on the Bigfoot one though. Like that was never like a... Like, did people see it as like a cool, like scary idea? Is it like a... Like what draws people to Bigfoot in this way?
I think the fact that it just can't be disproven. So, like, you can take any photo, Photoshop some, like, blurry thing into it and be like, oh, shit, this is it. And people are like, well, I mean, I can't factually know that it isn't actually Bigfoot.
Yeah. And the fact it's like, it's a human-like form.
Yeah.
So, like, it could obviously just be like a human.
It could be a guy, it could be a Photoshop, it could be Bigfoot.
But what is the theory? Like, they're like a really rare group of like apes that like what is the
Well, they're Sasquatch. they just live in the woods, you know.
So they're like giant orangutans that like walk on their back legs all the time.
Yeah. Well, you know the famous image, the Sasquatch.
Yeah. The image.
Yeah, and he's like looking, like he knows what's up.
But all of these images, they always like have them knowing what's up.
Well, that's a
like
special thing about the
Ness.
Sasquatch to me, because the Loch Ness would be like a giant eel or something. Like an eel just wouldn't know what's up. But a Sasquatch, you know what? I think a Sasquatch would know what's up.
But is that not why people get so obsessed with them? Because of this, it's like ghostly intelligence that's kind of implied that it's almost like, you know what I mean? Like, why so obsessed with the Loch Ness? It's just the mysterious element, isn't it? That's it.
Well, this is the thing. You can't, with any of these things, you can't really say it's false.
But does it just begin with it's just like some bored guy just like sat by a lock and he's like, you know, I'm just going to tell my friend that I just saw a giant fucking eel in it.
Yeah,
And it just
much.
spirals from there. Like,
Yeah.
then the story
Some guy
sticks.
in America was like taking photos of the woods and he's like, fuck me, I've got shit all going on. Let's say I saw some great ape.
Yeah. We've just got like a hairy friend. He's just like, just stand over there.
Just
and
walk over there and look at it.
yeah,
He
just do like
snaps
a
a pic.
yeah. I'll like blur it or whatever and like shake the cameras I take. Ghosts are real. Loch Ness are real.
Sasquatch is real.
Okay, so in the like ranking, you've got like the Sasquatch.
Well, no, I'd say ghosts are at the top. Ghosts, Sasquatch, Loch Ness.
You put ghosts above them. But surely, like, the existence of a giant eel thing is more realistic than a spirit ghost thing. I suppose you've had the ghostly experience.
Well, yeah,
haven't you?
that kind of pushes me in one direction. One I have had a personal experience with, the other...
Did you see that post that was like a theory, a possible explanation for it? A new
No.
one I hadn't seen.
No.
Someone was like, there have been reports of like big cats like in the UK.
This is something I've heard of.
Really?
Big cats. Yeah.
And
I've
apparently
heard-
when they let off a certain like scream, it sounds like weirdly similar to a human or something. Put
But
yourself back in those shoes.
That's the thing, thinking about that moment, it wasn't a scream from outside the building. It was a scream through one door. Because the scream happened right as I was about to leave this door.
So it was in the bar area as you were leaving the bathroom.
Yeah, the sound was from the bar area. I was in the bathroom, about to leave.
Yeah, that would mean that like a big cat would have to be so like in the vicinity. It just wouldn't make sense. would
Yeah. But the thing is that there's one window in that bathroom that would have been behind me, like to the back left.
it? Mm-hmm.
So if it came from outside, I feel like I'd be able to tell that it was back
Like
left.
right behind you, yeah.
But it really sounded like in front of me, and
Do you trust your own memories interpretation of that scary moment though?
honestly, it's impossible to say. I'd have to get an Elon Musk brain chip
And like watch the
thing,
memory back.
yeah, and just relive the memory over and over.
Yeah, it was
And
actually
figure
just
out-
like a squirrel falling out of a tree. And going,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
or like a fox, a horny fox. Foxes have horrible sounds. Have you ever heard a fox sound.
Yeah, it's quite striking.
Yeah,
The
it's
noises they
nasty.
make. Yeah, it is nasty. Let's do this one from Poo on Face. One we just have to address. Why is the normal episode being sold as an NFT?
Hella cash, y'all.
Yeah, to be honest, it's simple.
Let's say you had something so dear to you. Like,
Priceless.
yeah, straight up priceless, but then someone says, okay, I've got a price. 1 mil.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is you're selling.
Yeah, it's gone.
What celebrity do you think you could convince to buy the normal episode?
Kanye. I feel like he's got easily like 7 mil to spare to just go.
Yeah.
And then the thing with art is that art isn't art until someone with money considers it art.
yeah.
So the art is convincing someone with money that your art is art.
So the real art is getting Kanye in a room and convincing him to buy your art.
Yeah. And the second he buys that art is priceless.
And then all of a sudden you're an artiste.
Yeah. Then all of a
Officially,
sudden everything we do
paperwork,
is just,
you got the proof.
yeah, it's just high art.
Yeah, you know Kanye bought my podcast, right?
Exactly. You realise Kanye bought my normal episode, right? And then suddenly you got Jay-Z buying your
Sampling the
podcast.
normal episode.
Yeah.
That's how fucking valuable the
Yeah, so get tweeting at Kanye, get him aware that this NFT is not.
Yeah, and we don't necessarily need Kanye, just anyone with this kind of riches. Be
Yeah,
fine.
we'll even take Richard Branson.
Ed Sheeran, would you take his money for the normal? You would deny Ed Sheeran, even if he was like, send Jar Media an email. Listen, guys, this is like
I want this.
the actual Ed Sheeran. Like normally, like my agent does this, but it's just for this once. I need this material for sampling, and I want to buy the NFT.
You see, for him, no, I'd make an exception.
You're making what about Drake?
Drake. You know, I would sell it to Ryan Reynolds.
That's interesting, but why? You would want the Ryan Reynolds to own the normal episode, and
I
then
would
be able to hold that over you.
But the condition would be that he is to make a film adaptation
Of the who does
where he
play?
plays me.
No, you should play everyone like normal stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Who directs it? Him.
No, the guy that directed Joker.
Todd Phillips, Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Todd Phillips, the normal episode, featuring Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and then it makes like $10 billion, and
It hits harder than Joker.
it's the evolution of Joker. He's elevated it to the next level.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix shows up.
Maybe Joaquin Phoenix can play James.
Actually,
Ryan
I
Reynolds
don't
is
think there's
you.
another actor that could capture James better than Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the only one who could do it. Fuck. HJ Day 10 has one which kind of brings us full circle to what we were talking about earlier. Hello, Jar. I recently finished the TV show Mad Men and wondered whether any of you boys have watched it. After I finished Breaking Bad at the beginning of the year, I didn't think any show could top it, but I think Mad Men just might edge it for me. Every character ending in Mad Men was perfect, and it has some of the best writing in any show I've ever seen. Do any of you have any experience with the show? Yeah. You've both seen it.
Yeah.
It's always, for me, in the thought process or conversation of like best shows ever.
Yeah, easily.
It's too unique.
Yeah, no show has been so, like, surface level. You'd think it's the most dull idea for a show, But
Well, it's like, how do you maintain it? It's like 7 seasons long or something?
Yeah,
7 seasons?
It's a long show. And yeah, in thinking about it, it sounds dull. But in practice, goddamn. And the actors and everything they got.
Yeah, because one thing that stands in my mind with, like, if you think about a lot of what are considered the best shows of all time, your Breaking Bads, your Wires, your Sopranos, they all have an overt violence / crime element.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Men doesn't have that.
No, it changed the game to me for what, like, any media can do.
Like, it's all like really subtle human character drama.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like an unusual pace to get used to if you are used to your Breaking Bads and your Sopranos type shows.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding in a different way.
It never feels like soapy.
Yeah. It's not like trying to get you in with the cliffhangers, and it's like a slow build, ultra satisfying payoff. Like when you get to the payoffs all those seasons later, and it's also incredibly unpredictable for that reason too.
Yeah, it's the second best show I've ever seen.
What's your one then?
Seinfeld.
Really? You've actually you put it that high. Nice.
Yeah. I'm not going to go back on what I said last episode.
Fair, respectable. Would you recommend Mad Men? Do you think you have to be a certain like age or level of maturity? Because like I feel like most people are gonna enjoy Breaking Bad, you know?
Yeah. Even then, I found this with myself where like I'll watch a show and so much of it goes over my head. Like I won't be the same with films, the same with music, the same with video games, everything. But Mad Men in particular, I think if I'd have watched that at like the age of 16, 18, I wouldn't have appreciated it.
Yeah, that's the kind of thought I have too. I think I just would have been too dumb.
Yeah, it's easy to recognize that it's good.
Yeah.
But to really connect
to actually,
with...
to connect and get invested in like the characters. Without the like obvious, like instant reward, like cliffhanger type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely recommend it though. It's really fucking good. And there's a show being talked about at the moment that's on HBO called Succession that people keep hearing like comparing, saying like this could be building to be like that sort of level. I've been meaning to check that out, but that's like a still ongoing one. Like it's still only maybe a third of the way through or something.
I've not even heard of it.
Yeah, I'll see if anyone comments about it. But
I'm surprised that managed to have a resurgence in this episode. The advertisement Mad Men thing.
Yeah, that was like not planned at all. Like I prepared these like hours ago. Yeah, just happened to come up naturally. Let's do 2 more here then before we wrap up. Uncle Tony 55 says, a few weeks ago you boys were talking about the epic battle you witnessed between a wasp and a, quote, daddy longlegs, unquote. Since then I've noticed several recommended videos and ads on my phone offering to explain the difference between mayflies and daddy longlegs. How do you feel about our phones always listening to everything we do?
This is something that is just so blatant.
Yeah, it kind of feeds back into this ad thing we're saying about you can't escape it.
Yeah, nobody cares though, including me. Like it. So a family friend, I was with my parents and a family friend, and they were talking about commodes.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I on Instagram I start getting adverts for like commodes and shit.
I feel like Instagram is the one I notice the most overtly.
Yeah. It's
always
incredibly
like
blatant.
recent conversation stuff, and it's just like, what?
Yeah.
Seems like really weird. I guess you're like agreeing to it in the terms and conditions.
But you're always under the impression that when you're not recording something, or not specifically asked before you start doing something, that it's not being recorded. Your camera isn't being used. The microphone isn't being used. But that clearly is not the case. Because there's no reason I would be advertised commodes.
Yeah. Yeah, why would it randomly suggest that? It's so specific too.
Yeah, that was the one that was like, there's no doubt in my mind that Instagram is listening to what I have to say.
Well, it's like the Facebook products, it's their whole business model. It's just like gathering information on you and selling it to ad companies. This
is the scariest thing, because they've been under a lot of scrutiny recently from the government in America, but they don't know what questions to ask, because it's all
so
these.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I saw a recent one, and they asked the most stupid questions.
They're like, so what actually is a server?
Yeah,
they're like that level. So
no, they asked. There's a term for when someone makes a different like Instagram account that's private and they only have their friends on it, and then they have a separate account for just the public. And they were asked about this phenomenon, and they were like, "Are you going to ban this?" And they were like, "What do you mean? This isn't." These people do not understand what like happens on the internet. Yeah. So the actual problems, the actual dangerous shit, like I do genuinely think this is a problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Them listening to everything you have to say and shit, and advertising this weird stuff.
Yeah, like do you know any of the details on the like Edward Snowden?
No, I don't.
And that was like the US government doing it, let alone like I guess private companies doing it.
Yeah. No, that's the thing though, because when it's private companies, people don't really care.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the issue at hand. Like, people don't care, I guess, when it's like ads.
Yeah, and to a degree, I agree. But also, it there's something that just feels wrong about it.
Yeah, there is like a gut reaction where it's like, where is this line in terms of like, at what point does it start being like, because there are people that share like their whole lives on social media, and really they are gathering all of that information, and like you can build like super detailed profiles and stuff on people based on that kind of stuff. So it should always be on your mind, I guess. And I guess a lot of people don't think about it when they're just posting
the thing is,
anti-vax memes on Facebook.
It can't always be on your mind because they're listening to what you're saying. If you have the app open in the background and you're talking, it's picking shit up. Like, it has to be. That's how it happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all agreeing to it in these terms.
Yeah. But I mean,
we prefer to just be able to use Instagram.
Honestly, thinking about it, I could easily go without Instagram.
Yeah, like it was a couple of weeks ago now where all the Facebook products went down or something for 24 hours or a bit less. Or I was just thinking to myself, man, it would be nice if like they were like sabotaged somehow and that was it for them.
Yeah.
No, but all the Facebook products done.
Apparently, like the Facebook headquarters, like their doors and stuff, all linked to that infrastructure. To like
the doors, so they can get
into
out.
The building, you had to like use your Facebook ID or some shit, so they couldn't.
There's no like backup.
They can get in or out of the building. Apparently.
Oh my god, that just sounds like a terrible idea, but. Well,
Yeah.
I guess that would be in line with Facebook's whole thing. Let's end on this one then from Scoom. Alright, Jar. You mentioned watching several seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm in the last episode, but did you make it to Series 7? They bring back the entire cast of Seinfeld to make a reunion episode, which is an on-off plot for the whole season. Sounds funny.
I saw a clip from this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you
Because
remember
I've been going back into the profile thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching so much Seinfeld on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is recommending all this Seinfeld stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How does it know? Have you been like, searching Seinfeld clips or some shit?
No, it's because I guess on Google Chrome I've been watching Seinfeld on Netflix. Google is owned by, or YouTube is owned by Google.
Wait, is that really how deep it goes?
Why else would I be recommended Seinfeld stuff?
Because I thought on YouTube it only recommended shit based on like what you're watching on YouTube. But I don't know. I can't keep up.
I haven't searched any Seinfeld shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah. But yeah, I saw a clip where like the bit was, is it Larry David?
Mm-hmm.
Larry David wanted in this Seinfeld shoot to replace George Costanza and play George Costanza.
Oh, I
in
think
this
I
scene.
might have actually seen that clip. Because that's ringing a bell.
Yeah, and he's like fucking awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked funny, but I haven't seen any Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Because from some of the seasons I've seen of it, I remember like the George Costanza actor like showing up a couple times or something, having like cameos and stuff. But him like playing an actor in it type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds like a funny idea for a season. Again, Access. If I had HBO Max, I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, like Europe has access to HBO Max now or something.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Not in the UK because of their deal with Sky or whatever. So
Fuck Sky.
yeah, fuck Sky. I don't want to give them money. Rupert Murdoch or whatever.
Rupert Murdoch?
Yeah, doesn't he own Sky?
Who's Rupert Murdoch?
He's that guy who owns like all the worst papers. He's like the media conglomerate.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bruv. That was episode 101.
101.
101 times 2 plus 50 odd. Minus a couple. 0.9. See you, everyone.